busting. Many brothers I be sparking and rusting, man, like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sight like a lie.
Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by SayingStuff.com. I know in the past, some of my other affiliates haven't had as much Naruto merch. Well, good news. Saying Stuff has tons of Naruto merchandise, as well as merchandise from other anime. Since we're a Naruto channel, I highly recommend checking out their Naruto merchandise. You've got plenty of shirts, hoodies, and don't get me started on the shoes. They're absolute fire. Right now, they have a pretty good sale going on, and using my link and promo code, you'll also get an additional 15% off. Check out SayingStuff.com and you will not be disappointed. However, with that being said, though, let's get right back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And I gotta say, hands down, this is a huge moment for the actual fandom of the Boruto series when it comes to the character of Sarada Uchiha. Now, we've had so many people saying for so long, man, I cannot wait for Sarada to get a power up. People have been saying like, man, Sarada is being left behind. Boruto has the Karma Seal. Kawaki has the Karma Seal. Mitsuki has Sage Mode. People are saying like she's very slowly becoming this new generation's version of Sakura, and that even with the progress that she's making, it's just not as impressive as the power-ups that her teammates are getting. And so it's very easy to kind of put her in that category, when really and truly, if you read the manga, you should really be making that argument for Mitsuki. But that's another conversation for another day. However, rejoice, I come here with breaking good news. So essentially, in the anime, we've been watching as Sarada, in particular in the Boro fight, she did not have her 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and before that fight came out, I said like, hey, it's possible that she awakens that Sharingan midway through the fight, but there is also the possibility that they're going to actually kind of delay it, and that's exactly what's going on here. So essentially the director for the Boruto anime, who's essentially saved the anime in my opinion, because ever since he's taken over, we've gotten light novels adapted, we've gotten nothing but manga content for the most part in transition episodes that directly tie into the upcoming manga arc. So it brings me great joy in saying that this director did come out and say that he did not forget about Sarada's 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and he actually sent out a tweet after kind of talking about the last Boruto episode that aired. So not this last episode, but the episode before, that was focused on Kawaki and Himawari, and you're dealing with Kawaki's internal struggles when it comes to him fearing that Jigen's going to come to Konoha and take everybody's life. Well, in the tweet after he was talking about the episode, he says, quote, "Thank you, and please look forward to the moment when Sarada gets the 3 Tomoe one day." So that's huge right there, because what that's telling us is that Sarada's 3 Tomoe Sharingan, they have a plan to actually unveil it in the anime, and I think that this is actually something that actually works better. So when you get to the actual manga, when Sarada uses Sharingan in the manga, we just saw like, oh snap, she's got a fully mature 3 Tomoe Sharingan. The last time we saw her use Sharingan was way back in the versus Momoshiki arc during the tuning exams, and then she never used the Sharingan after that. She never used it against Al, she never used it against Boruto and Mitsuki when they had the sparring match. In none of the actual battles that took place, Sarada never used the Sharingan. And when that happened in the manga, myself and people that read the Sasuke Shinen novel said like, oh yeah, Sarada got that Sharingan during that light novel. That makes total sense right there. Well, what they're doing now, based on this right here, and based on the fact that this director said like he does have plans to adapt more of those light novels, in particular the Retsuden novels, well, this kind of leads me to believe that there is a possibility that he starts adapting some of the elements after we get done with the whole Ishiki Otsuki stuff. I think that there is a possibility that he's going to actually adapt this and potentially kind of twist around that scene when Sasuke's training Sarada on her Sharingan, and that's when we see she's got that 3 Tomoe. There is a possibility that they just do that awakening on that level right there and just change it around from what it was in the actual light novel. There is also the possibility that they change this around when you get to the whole situation where you have the big battle that's coming with Ishiki Otsutsuki, the second battle with Ishiki. I'm kind of wondering if they changed the situation with Sarada, because in the manga it was kind of assumed, in my opinion, that Sarada was still in the hospital when all these events took place. So you could have a situation where Sarada awakens at 3 Tomoe during that actual situation right there where all this stuff is going on inside the village. So there is the possibility for something like that. That would be kind of a cool moment to kind of pay respect to the fact that, like, hey, Sarada and Mitsuki are completely MIA in this upcoming battle. So you do have this possibility to kind of have Sarada maybe awaken at 3 Tomoe as she's dodging some of the debris. There is a possibility for something like that. You could also, again, go the route of anime only content that directly allows her to awaken at 3 Tomoe Sharingan without actually having to include anime original stuff inside the upcoming arc, because that would feel like it's a little bit out of place in this part of the actual arc right here. So that is something that kind of very much intrigues me right here, because there are a few possibilities to show off this Sharingan, but this is very important because while you don't have a huge, like, say, power boost like when you get from Sharingan to Mangekyo Sharingan, the 3 Tomoe isn't something like that, but you do have increased visual prowess when it comes at 3 Tomoe. We saw that when it goes back to the Sasuke and Naruto battle in part 1 at the Valley of the End, because in that time period right there, once Sasuke awakened at 3 Tomoe Sharingan, Sasuke was able to see Naruto's movements, and they slowed down to the point where he was seeing the movements and he was actually predicting the moves before they're actually getting ready to happen. And it was something that kind of happened on some Matrix stuff right there. So I kind of like this idea right here of kind of giving Sarada her own moment, because they've kind of done that with each Tomoe that they've done. So that does kind of work. The first Tomoe was awakened when she was a child and she didn't know that she had Sharingan, but she awakened that Sharingan when she was sick and worried about her father. And then she consciously awakened that Sharingan when you had the events of Naruto Gaiden and she was chasing after Sasuke and she's crying tears of joy as she's on her way to actually meet her father for the first time. Then you had the 2 Tomoe that she awakened when she was protecting Boruto. So this 3 Tomoe, whether it be a training arc, which I think that's something that would very much go over very well with a lot of fans, having a training arc with Sarada Uchiha, since a lot of people want training arcs with these characters, that could be something that definitely works. If you see Sasuke training his daughter on visual prowess, training drills, like how you had in that Sasuke novel where Sasuke was training her and you had all these bombs that were coated in chakra and Sasuke had already defused them, but he was taking the moment to actually teach his daughter how to actually effectively use the Sharingan to see chakra as a color. That could be something that actually works here with the character of Sarada. So I'm very, very much interested to see how he's actually going to approach this. Again, a lot of people are worried that the anime directly forgot about Sarada's 3 Tomoe. This just kind of shows you, again, he said once he took over, he said, I know fans want to go into the manga. I'm a fan of the manga myself. We're going full steam ahead. The tweet is still up on Twitter, so you can go look the tweet up yourself. But I like this idea that somebody that is a manga fan understands, like, hey, this is actually a problem in the manga. Let's fix this, but we got to get through the current stuff that we have now. So that kind of just adds to my confidence that after we get to the Ishiki stuff and after those major events happen, we're probably going to move into some anime original content. I think it's going to be a minute. I think your best case scenario is after the big plot twist, after the battle with Ishiki takes place. I think that's when you're probably gonna have the anime original content right there. So I'm very, very excited to see how this is actually handled. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.